Heading into Martinsville weekend, Kyle Larson was the only current Hendrick Motorsports driver to never have won at the paperclip, but fast forward 400 laps at the Virginia short track, and he now owns a coveted grandfather clock. And he was a little in disbelief, guys, after the race, saying he never thought he would win there, that it's been so tough, it doesn't suit his driving style. So, DJ, Parker, how did Larson pull off the win at Martinsville? There was a little bit of a strategy in terms of tires, but ultimately, how did he get to victory lane? I'll start with you, DJ.
Well, I think that the biggest thing is when you have a talented driver like Kyle Larson that puts in a lot of time and effort in more than just the places that he enjoys. He understands that there are other tracks that, every track doesn't suit every driver, but he's so talented that he just put in the work and seeing where he may have been not getting the job done. I know that, go all the way back to when Jeff Gordon came into the series, that Martinsville wasn't a very good place for him. A test session there many, many years ago opened his eyes as to what he needed. And then he became a dominant racer there. And I think you may see that from Larson. And when you figure things out at Martinsville, it helps you at a lot of different places. But as you pointed out, tire strategy helped that, or pit strategy did at the end of the race. But he also just had a good, solid day. But when you have confidence that you can bring your driver down pit road and make the right call, that two-tire call was huge for him and getting him in the position that he needed with just a little bit better tires. So everything just worked to their advantage, and the driver did his job.
I want you to dive a little deeper into the off-track work. DJ touched on it, but we've heard stories of how hard Kyle has worked on the sim and just away from the track to win at Martinsville. So take us through those kind of things that a driver can do and that Kyle did.
Right. Yeah. And that's really what's impressive here is that when you have a track as a driver that you don't gel with, like personally, Martinsville has been a place I've had to work on a ton. And I know exactly what he's gone through. And I saw Josh Wise, who, runs the Chevy driver development program and works with a lot of the drivers in a coaching capacity, talked about last year Larson was turning laps on iRacing the night after practice, trying to get better from things they'd seen on the data driving wise that could help him on Sunday in that cup car. And I think that's something that's really key about Martinsville, in that it is, as DJ alluded to, it is a place that requires a certain type of driving. And it's really in the braking, and it's a type of braking and a way that you brake in the car that you won't really experience elsewhere. And it's, some guys have it just naturally from places they've been growing up, maybe in late models and that sort of thing. But knowing Larson's background of USAC midgets, which was similar to myself, it's a type of driving and braking that you will not use in those cars. It requires you to be super disciplined in how long you hold the brake, to the point that you hold the brake, to around moving the min speed point of the corner, which means your lowest speed point of the corner, around to the other side, which is made a very unnatural feeling. But all those things combine to make you faster on that place. And that's what the really good guys there do. And so it's something that, as a driver, you have to basically force yourself to release your muscle memory and everything you've known about different places and drive differently. And I've related it to golfers who, have to tweak their swing. Like, that's what you're doing in terms of driving the car differently. So that's what makes it amazing when a guy like Kyle Larson finds it, figures it out and goes out there, wins. Now, yesterday, I would say, was very much also aided by, the situation in terms of game track position. And, that was a great call by Cliff Daniels. And I think track position yesterday was king. And, we saw that with taking the 22 car and putting him on old tires out front. And he went from being a lap down early in the race to, leading a ton of laps, which just is, incredible. So I think track position was incredibly important. The 5 car called that right. And then Larson drove it correctly when he needed to, when he got out front, and you combine those things together and you end up with the 5 car in victory lane.
And with that win, Hendrick has now won at Las Vegas, Martinsville, and Phoenix this season, 3 of the final 4 tracks that the Cup Series visits in the playoffs. How important is that as we look forward to the post-regular season? And does it make Hendrick perhaps a championship favorite? Parker?
Well, I'd say they're a championship favorite no matter what, right? Because they're just fast. They just have a ton of speed in these cars. And I mean, look, they've had penalties this year. They've been caught with different things, and then they just keep winning. So I don't know if we haven't found all the things that they're doing or what, but I'm not saying they're doing anything extracurricular, but just obviously they have really figured out the next gen car this year. They're firing on all cylinders in terms of performance. Their drivers are putting in the effort and the work. You have Chase Elliott coming back, which sort of can only help this organization be even stronger going forward. So to me, they are the cars to beat right now. Now, will that last through the season? DJ, we see many times where teams are hot at the beginning, they lose it through the summer, maybe they come back, or they never come back. So we'll see. But right now, you'd have to say they're the fastest cars in town.
Yeah, they're definitely the fastest everywhere that they go. They're in contention. That's a great feeling. But I think the only thing that will help them from winning these races at tracks we're going to go back to in the playoffs is the mindset. Confidence is a wonderful thing, but as Parker kind of alluded to there, a lot of things are going to change throughout the summer. And are they going to be on the right end of that whenever playoff time comes around at Darlington?
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.